Rockstar Gang, Panther Nation, what up, what up, what up? Beautiful. What is it, Wednesday? Good Lord. I feel like I'm back still on Monday. I feel like I'm still on Monday time. I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Make sure as you come in, make sure you pound that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Click that post notifications bell so you don't miss out on any new content. Yeah, man. Yeah. You see the title? How the Panthers went from bad to worse. Big Cheesy's in here. He goes, if you want to see if the no weapons, no receivers is the issue, put in Andy and see what happens. If he throws for 350 yards, 2 touchdowns, then we have a quarterback issue. If not, all of you are correct. I mean, Big Cheesy, I don't think, again, I think the quarterback is an issue. All right. I've said it. I think Bryce has his issues. He's a rookie. He has his issues. The offensive line has its issues. Wide receivers, at least in this last, in this last game, breaking that game film yesterday, these wide receivers were getting open, right? So that, but we have seen though, well, I'm breaking game film down and these wide receivers aren't getting open. So again, it's a mixture of things here. This organization is just total disarray. It doesn't matter about if we throw Andy Dalton in at this point. It doesn't matter if we continue to just roll with Rice at this point. It does not matter. Okay. This team is a disarray due to the fact of the personnel, due to the fact of an owner who meddles and gets involved with football operations. You got a GM who can't sign the correct free agents, who can't go through the draft and get the right talent because we don't have the right scouts who really obviously can see talent right in front of their face. So our scouts are terrible. I mean, the list goes on, man. I mean, it's more than that, Big Cheesy. And it doesn't matter at the end of the day if you throw Andy Dalton in there or not. It doesn't matter. That's not going to solve any issues. So Marcos Casters here. What up, Marcos? Appreciate you joining the live stream. Let's see here. All right, make sure you pound that like button as you come in, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and go ahead and get in that comment section. Let me know your thoughts as we go throughout today's episode of today's live stream. I'm going to pull this up for you guys, and we're going to go ahead and dive right into it. We got some news and updates for the Carolina Panthers. Dallas is this week. All right. I mean, we're already going to be 1-9. I'll break it down even more though later on throughout the week. Yeah, I mean, we made some personnel moves. Scott Fitter is known for his bottom end of the roster churn, and recently they cut left guard Calvin Throckmorton, which was kind of a surprise to me. But this move indicates desperation and pressure from higher ups to turn the team's failures to fortunes. That's not going to happen. The Panthers have made other moves. They released Deontay Brown from the practice squad. They bring back David Sharp and Tay Davis into the fold. Head coach Frank Wright has stated that he has the right men in the locker room to win football games. At least he thinks so. When asked about the current personnel, however, with one win from 9 games, it remains to be seen if we can get any more wins on this schedule. I don't care about turning this season around is gone. Just getting another win under our belt is the next thing. Now, Bradley Bozeman, you see him up there. The offensive line needs to do more to help out. All right. It's plain and simple as that. There are complications, especially in the pass protection. Run game, you're not opening any holes. You're not opening any gaps for the run game to even work. The moves made on this Tuesday, the moves made on Tuesday as well indicate a level of unhappiness within the building. There are concerns that new concepts are going to be implemented, apparently by Frank Wright and Thomas Brown. Are not playing. Apparently, they have not been playing Bradley Bozeman to his strengths, which I don't think they've been playing any. The concept that they're running with this offensive line hasn't been running to their strengths at all with this inside zone blocking scheme that they're running. So there have been discussions switching Bozeman from center to one of the guard positions. I think such a significant change at this stage of the season could really upset our team's chemistry more than what it already is. And it's important to note that any alteration like this usually occurs in the off season. So, who do you think will start at left guard? I think Zavala is going to start left guard. I think due to the fact that Zavala having that background playing with Icky just makes more sense. There, I really do. I think Zavala at left guard, if he's good to go, right? I mean, I don't know how long, particularly how long Zavala is supposed to be out, but I mean, again, I think it'll be Zavala though, Marcos. I think Zavala will be playing left guard. It just makes more sense for him to be there due to the fact of, him playing alongside Icky in the past. So I think that he'll play left guard, Marcos. I think he will. I think he'll end up starting. And then again, let's talk about Frank Wright's future. I've been talking about this. We talked about it on the Black Cat Panther podcast yesterday, which was fun. I even talked about it on my show yesterday a little bit, but I kind of want to reiterate some of this because again, after the high expectations set during this past off season, again, Frank Wright now is definitely on the hot seat. There's no questions, in my opinion. No carrying favor with the fan base. So soon into his head coaching. I've never seen a fan base turn on a head coach so fast in my life. And it was a lot quicker than Matt Rule, which is crazy. I mean, the Carolina Panthers, again, we see it. We've seen it for the past 9 games. This team has yet to live up to some of the bold predictions that were out there, even myself, especially but the biggest thing was the predictions that were made by the people of those in power of this organization, and that the pressure's just on now. Firing Frank, starting fresh yet again after just one season, it's a big call by David Tepper to make. However, there are reports that a monumental effort is needed for those within the building to keep their jobs beyond this season. So, I mean, things are not, these rumors surrounding this team and this team's future are not making things any easier for us. The moves made by the team, again, I think indicated level of desperation. There are concerns about this team's chemistry and future. And as the season continues on, guys, it remains to be seen if we can turn things around and have any type of success at all at this point, right? So that's just a little news and update. So fighting for survival. These are guys, players, and then, of course, Frank Wright. These are the guys that I think are fighting for survival. Now, granted, I think Chuba Hubbard's done good enough with what he's been given as well. I think Dante Jackson has definitely stepped up. Tommy Trimble, sometimes he's there, sometimes he's not. The consistency in that tight end room is just non-existent, right? And then Deshaun Williams. I think he stepped up, but I think he's fighting for survival. These guys, again, I think are all fighting for survival here because if we look at like Tommy Tremble, for example, because the Carolina Panthers placed Tommy Tremble above Hayden Hurst on the tight end depth chart a few weeks ago. And then there's been no like upturn production from him with all the physical tools needed for himself to do well. He's really just been an enigma since joining the Panthers, even when we picked him back in the third round. And his blocking credentials are as advertised, but something is still missing when he is trying to create separation and his ball skills. I feel like if Tremble cannot show enough in the next coming weeks, the Panthers will likely seek alternatives again. But he's not the only one facing demotion or the chopping block either. Ian Thomas is there, Stephen Sullivan, Hayden Hurst. Honestly, I think the whole tight end room needs to go, in my opinion. I probably shouldn't even just be putting Tommy Tremble. I think Hayden Hurst needs to go. I'm not a fan of any of these guys. They're not doing anything for us. They're not playing any. They're not getting open. I will say that, there has been times when I broke it down in game film, there has been times they have been, and Bryce is missing them, and that's another story for another day. But it's still this tight end. We have not. Again, there are certain positions on this field that this team hasn't had since the Luke Kuechly days. So the linebacker core, for example, we haven't had a true good tight end since the Greg Olsen days. That's also true. So those are two position groups where we really haven't replaced those guys particularly, and they've been gone for how long? And so that's an issue. Dante Jackson, I'm in fairness, though, again, Dante Jackson has been playing decent football over the last few games, and the veteran is making his presence consistently known, especially against the run. He's becoming more dependable in coverage, which is exactly what we want, all right, and what we've been asking for. And I'm looking forward to see JC Horn come back and see how he does, as long as he can stay healthy. But I have to give Dante Jackson credit where it's due, even though I think he is fighting for survival. Because again, Carolina is either going to keep him and pay that $15 million contract next year, or they're going to move on from him so they can get away from that $15 million contract. And I think his play is going to depend on that. So that's why I'm saying he's going to be fighting survival, because in the last game since the bye week, he has stepped up, right? He has done well. Again, he's been doing this against CJ Stroud. Okay. Very good. He did this against Tyson Bagent, below average, and then Gardner Minshew, right? The quarterbacks. And then, of course, the matchups too there. So we'll see how this corner room turns out after, JC comes back. But again, Dante Jackson's done well. He got burned on a few big plays consistently before the bye. He was targeted heavily. He was really the weak link down the field before the bye. Opposing offenses were just exposing him. And a cut of frustration definitely was felt there. But Dante Jackson's influence within the locker room has been top level, from my understanding. He's a motivator, and that cannot go without saying. There is also the business element, again, guys, to this whole thing, though, examining Jackson's future here. Again, he is set to account $15.18 million against the salary cap on his final deal in 2024. That's an elite amount of money, which Jackson cannot claim to be, I feel like. Cutting Jackson with a post-June 1 designation, all right, comes with the savings of more than $10 million attached to that. So Jackson must prove that he's worth of such a big financial commitment to Carolina in these final 8 games, I feel like, again, but the full body of career work might dictate how his ship sails. Okay. So those within the building value Jackson more than most fans. So nothing can be ruled out yet, but he has to continue to play like he's playing now, I think, to stay here. What's up, Supernova? Good morning, sir. Appreciate you joining the live stream. Guys, as you're coming in, make sure you pound that like button. I would greatly appreciate. Raymond Short, what's going on, man? Amen to that statement about the tight ends. Yeah, it's been a while. You got to think about it. What's up, Clay? What's up, Matt Chatter? How are you? How are you? Hope everyone is having a great Wednesday. Dante Jackson has lost the step, but he's still a dog. He's doing better since the bye week. The offensive line is too weak, and that's why Bryce's numbers are low. Raymond, I broke down the game film yesterday. So in that game, there was more miscues by Bryce than there was the offensive line. The offensive line still is an issue. I still do truly believe that in Raymond, but there was only 2 miscues by the wide receivers. There was probably about 12 or 13 miscues by Bryce, and there was probably about, I want to say at least 6 or 7, maybe 8 miscues by the offensive line. So, mistakes. So again, the offensive line still is an issue. It's not helping out the run game to take off that pressure either on Bryce. So, there's multiple issues though, guys. Again, Jackson will restructure. You might be right, Marcos. That might what it comes down to. If he pans out, they might end up saying, "Hey, we want to keep you, but we'd love to restructure your contract." That's something that they could definitely do. Now, Deshaun Williams. I think that we also need to mention that Deshaun Williams has done better from the defensive line standpoint. The defensive line has done better after the bye week, I feel like. All right. I've seen Deshaun Williams stepped up. He stepped up against the Texans. He had a couple plays in the Colts game. He had like 1 or 2, 3 plays against the Bears, but not as much as he had in the last 2 games. But really, the thing is you got to give Evero credit where it's due. I mean, he has done more with this defense, and he's done more with this defense. If you think about it, it's like he's done more with less this season, right? And I think the Panthers have dealt with more significant injuries on that side of the football. And this defensive coordinator, Evero has just done an excellent job, in my opinion, of getting the most out of the personnel that's really at his disposal. If only the offense could if only I could say the same for the offense. So, I wish I could say the same for the offense. Carolina's defensive line could use some added quality when the offseason arrives. I still feel though, I'm a guy that wants to build this team up from the trenches. If we're going to do a rebuild, I want to build the trenches up first before I bring in the skilled players. Because they are without a genuine nose tackle because you're running a new 3-4 base scheme there. And although Evero might not be around in 2024 because I feel like he might be getting a head coaching job, or unless they promote him here and they fire Frank Wright. But if he convinces another team to make him a head coach within the next coming year, I think that he will do well. But again, this only adds to the uncertainty. But it's hard to look at someone like Deshaun Williams and not think he's fighting for his future here, because whether the current coaching staff keeps him around, right? I think that Williams relished a homecoming sort of some sorts during free agency. And the thing is his previous production under Evero's guidance really heightened optimism. And it's been an indifferent run for this player. He has mustered just 1 sack, 22 tackles over the last 9 games, playing about 50% of the team's defensive snaps. Now, PFF has him rated at as a 56.5, okay? and his inability to make an impact on the run defense effectively are two indicators of his struggles to find the consistency needed there. Now, that's something that has to change. If he can go through these next 8 games, right, and, bolster up that run defense effectively, then we could see him back here in Carolina. But as of right now, I could see them being moved on when his contract expires next spring. So I could see it. Jarvis, I think that's already done, brother. We're 1-8. I think once the team's 1-8 or they're 0-6, like we were before the bye week, I think that's automatically you are eliminated from the playoffs. Oh man, Von Drill Sweat defensive line protection will help out a lot with our run stopping problems. AJ Brooks, we'll definitely break down some mock drafts. We actually might do a mock draft today, guys, honestly, because I only have one more thing to talk about, and I think we might just do a mock draft at the end. If y'all have a website in particular, do y'all have a particular website that y'all like to do the mock drafts with? Because if so, please let me know. And I would love to sit down with you guys and break down a mock draft. I've done my research on some of the mock draft websites, but not all of them are my favorite. Some of them are good, some are all right. All right, Chuba Hubbard. So this is another reason why I put him on here for fighting for survival. All right, now again, I want to make this clear. I think Chuba Hubbard is easily running back number 1 right now. Okay, and I think that he has done well, but again, the offensive line has done him no favors either. It would be easy to put Miles Sanders here too, but all signs point to this being a loss because the Panthers have invested the amount of money in Sanders to really, honestly, we're going to have to stick with him even through this next free agency. So therefore, I have to put Chuba under this because he's definitely the team's number 1 running back option right now. He's a former 4th round who's seen as someone who currently is blossoming into, I think, a prominent role here. After I felt like a lot of people wrote him off before previous, before Matt Rule was fired. And I feel like Chuba has looked much better than he did definitely in his rookie year. And then last year, too, he definitely stepped it up behind Deontay Foreman. And one can make a case for his regression in 2023 because of the offensive line. But if you look at his 2022 stats, right? Okay. This was installed into the rotation with Steve Wilks. Now, the stats I'm reading off here was when Steve Wilks was taking over, okay? So last year, he had 95 carries, 466 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns, 4.9 yards per carry. He had 14 receptions for 171 receiving yards. Granted, the offensive line that we had last year was finished top 10, okay? Now, if you look at the 2023 with Frank Wright, Thomas Brown's offense, okay, 94 carries, 351 rushing yards, 1 touchdown, 3.7 yards per carry, 21 receptions, 110 receiving yards, okay? So the migrating factors in this play is the fact that we just run a bland-ass scheme, number 1. And an offensive line that's not creating enough holes. And a passing attack and capable of moving the chains consistently and that's everything that comes to mind to me after watching that game film in Chicago. I think Hubbard wants to prove that he can be a legitimate top backfield option, but he has to do more for me to say so. Granted, again, the offensive line is not doing him any favors. But again, there's players out there that are able to run through their offensive lines and are able to still make plays. The great running backs can make all things happen no matter the circumstances. Okay. Same thing with every position on the field. There's just levels to this shit. Okay. And anything else would likely see the Panthers look at others, but perhaps from the college ranks. But we'll see. I don't know. Maybe we should hire Mike Shula back as OC. What can go wrong? I mean, Kyrita. I mean, dude, I don't know, man. I don't know. All right, Frank Wright. Let's finish off with Mr. Wright here. Let's finish this segment off with Mr. Wright here because I got a lot to say about Mr. Wright. The fact that we're even talking about Frank Wright's future in 9 games and just his first year here, that just is a testament of how poor things have gone this season, right? Something not even the biggest pessimist would have really predicted, I think. He's an experienced coach. He has a reputation. And there was fresh hope for better fortunes with him. He used his connections to bring in great coaches who I thought were great coaches. Made a daring move to go after Bryce, even though he didn't want Bryce, because it's definitely evident that he wanted CJ Stroud. Okay. A player seen as a missing piece of the puzzle, right? That franchise guy. Okay. Wright is a nice guy. And he cares a great deal. I truly believe that. But the football product can be politely described as uninspired. Okay. We're playing uninspired, non-motivation football. No points to success or wanting for these guys to excel. No, what's another word for it? No discipline, non-disciplined football because all the penalties. Offensively, it's just a mess, guys. And hold on. And really, there's just no motivation, right? There's just no motivation. There's no invention to the scheme. There's no cohesiveness to the play. There's no significant adjustments made. Does that make sense? Because something that Wright has contemplating the idea of taking back play calling responsibilities from Thomas Brown after just 3 games is insane to me too as well. Many respected insiders, such as we've seen Ian Rappaport speak about it. We've seen not Ian Rappaport, Schefter speak about it. We've seen guys, Michael Parsons, for example, has spoken about things even on his channel. We've seen multiple media, multiple other football players, hell, even Cam speaking about it. But a lot of people seem to believe that it will take a monumental turnaround for Frank Wright to keep his job. Now, others suggest Ian Rappaport did speak. And now that it comes to my mind, he did say something, but Ian Rappaport did suggest that his future is directly related to Young's growth. And so either way, it's something that we're going to have to monitor close as this season goes on over the next 8 games. And we're also going to be monitoring general manager Scott Fitterer, which boldly predict didn't plan on picking in the top 10 again. He didn't expect the prospect handing over the number 1 pick to the Chicago Bears instead. David Tepper is impulsive enough to act if the Panthers cannot dig themselves out of this significant hole that they're in, which part of it is his fault as well, due to the fact of him getting involved in football operations. And even if this does mean admitting defeat with yet another head coach during your ownership, your stature as owner and you being like 30 and 65 as an owner, that reputation's got to sting. So your ass needs to stay out of football operations, and you need to let the football guys be football guys, because you're the one who's now has gone through, coach after coach. You've traded your mortgage away to get a guy that doesn't seem to fit here. You traded away Christian McCaffrey. We're going to get more into that because that's actually the next topic. That's the next topic. Look at this image. And what do you see, folks? If you get in the comment section, make sure you pound that like button, guys, as you're coming in. I would greatly appreciate it. That's all I need you to do. 15 people watching. There's no reason why we shouldn't be up to 15 to 30, 15 to 20 likes already. So I greatly appreciate that. The more you like, the more you comment, the more the algorithm gets out there. So please make sure you pound the like button, get in the comment section. Love to hear your thoughts. So again, chat. You look at this image, and every person, figure you see here, what's the first thing that pops in your head? You got Matt Rule, you got David Tepper, you got Scott Fitter, you got Frank Wright, you got Brian Burns, you got Steve Wilkes, you got CJ Stroud, Christian McCaffrey, DJ Moore, you got Bryce Young in this image, you got the NFL draft, you got the NFL free agency, you got the Bears logo. Because everything went from bad to worse, right? That's the title of this video. That's the title of this live stream. So let me know, chat. What is it from? What is the first thing that comes to your mind? AJ Brooks, Marcos Cash, Mad Chatter, Big Cheesy, Supernova, Abdul Simmons, Raymond Short, Jarvis, Carrito. Let me know. Let me know what you think in the comments. Get in the chat. What do you see here? What's the first thing you see in this picture? What comes to your mind? What's the first thing that comes to your mind? No worries. Raymond, have a good day at work, brother. Failure? We let go a lot of great players. And I miss some people and coaches. What else? What else do you see? So bunch of fuck ups. So y'all look at this image and this is what y'all see. All right. This is so what's the first? That's what I want y'all to know. I want everything you see here. You failed with Matt Rule. You give Steve Wilkes the job, right? Okay. You fail with Matt Rule. You give Steve Wilkes the job. He almost wins you the NFC South and you let him walk. You're not committed to your key players. You traded away Christian McCaffrey and DJ Moore. You traded the mortgage away for the man in the background back there, Mr. Bryce Young. You're not committed to your key players because you didn't re-sign Brian Burns, but yet you didn't make a trade for him when you got the most value out of him last year. And then you missed in the draft because you chose to go with Bryce over CJ Stroud when your owner down there was the one who getting involved in football operations. Scott Fitter, you and your scout team have failed to bring in draft picks that are actually that add depth. You have missed on draft picks. Free agency, you've missed on talent and contracts and trades. You let DJ Moore go because you wanted to go after Bryce Young. I get it, going after a franchise guy. But the football guys wanted Stroud, and Fitter wanted Bryce Young for whatever reason. Right? For whatever reason. So, again, these are all the recent failures on the football field that have left us fans frustrated, wondering how this team got to where it is today and what the future holds. And that's what I'm here to bring you today. Ever since David Tepper has taken over ownership, and listen, guys, listen, I know I'm going to go on a rant here, all right? And I'm sorry to be ranting, and this is what it is, and I apologize. I promise I will get to everyone's comments. I see them. Continue to comment, continue to pound that like button, and I promise I will get to them. But since David Tepper took over ownership of the team in 2018, the Panthers have not made the postseason. With an overall record, David Tepper, of 30-61 and a 33% winning percentage. This team lacks of success can be attributed to several factors. Primarily, the first thing is poor leadership decisions. Tepper's leadership style is an overpriced, shiny ball of insanity. That's what it is. It's an overpriced, shiny ball of insanity. This is evident in the hiring of Matt Rule as head coach in 2020. Okay. And despite his lack of NFL experience, Rule was given a lucrative contract that we're still paying and an overreaching say in personnel matters. So this decision proves a costly mistake, as the team's record under Matt Rule, what was it? 11-27 before he was fired after going 1-4 start in 2022. Another misstep was the trade of Christian McCaffrey, the team's best running back in the 2022 season, best player on the team probably. While some debate whether the trade was warranted, it signaled a rebuilding phase of the team, but yet we just retooled badly. However, something unexpected happened when interim head coach Steve Wilks took over. Wilks connected with the team, established a clear identity as a power running offense that fought like hell. The Panthers went 6-6 down the stretch, finished the year 7-10, and narrowly missing the postseason. And almost won the NFC South. If they win that Bucs game, it's over. Then Wilks' success has led to calls from the fan base for him to be named the full-time head coach. David Tepper, Scott Fitter have vowed to conduct a thorough and intentional search for the right candidate. They have interviewed several candidates, including Detroit Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson, who chose to remain with his current team. The Panthers must make significant change to return the winning ways. The leadership and management decisions must bring winning football back to Carolina. The future of the team depends on it. The owner must ensure that a thorough, intentional search is conducted to find the right candidate to lead this team. Again, so in the Panthers' current state is one of rebuilding and refocusing. Okay? Again, this team's recent struggles can be attributed to poor leadership decisions, the hiring of Matt Rule, Christian McCaffrey's trade. Then you let Steve Wilks walk. David Tepper must take responsibility and ownership of his flaws that has put us in the position that we are in. But now he has to take action to bring winning football back to Carolina and ensure that this team can compete at the highest level. Yeah, exactly. We can sit here and say Bryce is the bum, but Bryce ain't the only problem. Y'all casual fans that continue to just come in my chat and say Bryce is a bum. Okay, yeah, we broke the game film down. He has his issues. Sure, he's playing like a bum right now. I'm not defending him. I'm not saying he's the franchise guy. I'm not saying he's the right guy. But this team has more issues than just Bryce. The offensive line, not creating great pass protection. The offensive line, not creating great run lanes. So that doesn't help any pressure on your rookie quarterback, does it? So, yeah, he's going to play like a bum. And throughout the season, we've been talking about the wide receivers not creating separation. Yeah, this last game, this is the most open I've ever seen them. But yet Bryce wasn't getting the ball out to them. He was overthrowing guys, holding on to the ball too long, waiting to throw the ball when the pocket collapsed. Then he can't see over him. So there, yes, he has his issues. But the offensive line hasn't done him any favors. So why, if you're going to call Bryce a bum, call the offensive line a bunch of bums. Call the wide receivers that throughout the season that hasn't gotten open, call them bums too. But stop just blaming Bryce. I'm tired of just people going one-sided with this. It's multiple issues. I speak facts. I don't just say one thing. Because again, guys, David Tepper can no longer afford to sit back and wait for things to improve. The Panthers need a strong leader willing to make tough decisions and take bold action. It's time for Tepper to step up and deliver the change that we as fans demand. And it starts with firing Scott Fitterer for the lack of depth and talent that he has brought here through free agency and drafts. It's time to get his staff and that scouting staff out of the building. That starts there, number one. Because if you want to see change from a talent and depth standpoint, you attack that front office of the ones who are bringing in the talent, who are ones who are scouting out the talent and signing and drafting these guys. That's where it starts. Exactly, Chris. Exactly. AJ Brooks comes in and says, I'm not convinced that Tepper wants to win. He fired both coaches in MLS and NFL that were winning. He might want to be the bottom of the league for some monetary reason. I don't know, AJ Brooks. I mean, that could be a next conspiracy thing. Bryce is not a bum. He just struggling. He'll be fine. We'll see. I'm not going to say that he's going to be fine because I'm 50-50 on Bryce right now. I'm not saying he's I'm not saying he's not our franchise guy, but I'm not saying I'm not saying he's our franchise guy, but I'm not saying he isn't either. So, Kurta, there's less evidence that he will be fine though. Right, exactly. There's not enough around this kid. There's not enough. The scheme doesn't fit the offensive line. The scheme doesn't fit Bryce Young. The kid lacks confidence. He's getting we're killing him at this moment, honestly. AJ, look what Tua looked like without McDaniel. Then he came and saved the day. He'll be fine. Yeah, and he also has Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle and Raheem Mostert and Devin Achane. And he also has a competent offensive line. And he has a competent head coach and an offensive coordinator that knows how to use him correctly. Kyrita, we don't have any of that. I think if Tepper fires Frank and Fit, the next coach the GM hires, he'd let them do their job. He should stay away. Exactly, Chris. I bet that's what it comes down to. We're in this situation because we've had to make desperate moves to get where we are now. That's why we traded away Christian McCaffrey. That's why we traded those picks and DJ Moore to move up in the draft. Because of the moves that this man down here, David Tepper, wanted to make because he wanted to get involved in football operations like Jerry Jones did. This narrative of owners getting involved needs to stop. David Tepper needs to stop getting involved in football operations. The owners that are most successful are the ones that sit back and let the football guys be football guys. The offense is putrid. I blame Frank for the issues we're having as a whole. Joseph, you have to blame Frank for the performance. They're playing non-disciplined football. They are why can't we fire Frank Wright? Why can't we put him on the hot seat? He's the one that's coaching these players. He's the one that's calling the plays. I broke down the game film yesterday, Joseph. This is the most basic play calling I've ever seen from an offensive standpoint. You can't tell me that Frank Wright does not deserve to be fired when they're running the same exact plays almost every single drive. Defenses can predict it like that. So don't sit there and say it's not fair to fire Frank Wright because he didn't get CJ Stroud. If you're a good head coach, you can work with what you got. I'm keeping it 100 too, though. I didn't say, bro, I don't expect Frank to fix him. But it comes down to developing him the right way. Putting the right pieces around him, putting the right system around him. That's what Bama had to do to get him to win a Heisman and get to the national championship. Plain and simple. And we have not done that here because we have a GM who can't scout. The scouting room can't scout. We got a GM that can't sign and bring in talented players, who can't draft talented players. Again, you don't have a competent offensive line. You don't have a good scheme there. You don't have a competent OC. You don't have a good scheme there with the play calling. You don't have a competent wide receivers that can get open besides a 33-year-old Adam Thielen. It's coaching and the front office. I seen an article that said Bill O'Brien, which is Bryce Young's college offensive coordinator, which is in New England. Yeah, I know where he's at. They need to hire him. I don't know for a head coach, but at least an offensive coordinator. The problem is with that is that Bill O'Brien's not going to be an OC. He's going to want to be an offensive coordinator. Or, head coach. That's just my opinion. We were talking about it yesterday on Black Cat Panther podcast. I just don't see Bill coming here. I would be open to it because at least he's worked with Bryce and knows how Bryce, plays and his playing style and what works best, what's his strengths and weaknesses, right? So I would be open to it, especially as an OC, but not as a head coach, because I feel like Bill O'Brien would want to do what he did in Houston and try to be the general manager too. I need the real story before I shit on Frank. It doesn't look like he built this team for Bryce. It like everyone shit on Teddy, but then found out later they never practiced red zone. The thing is, though, the play calling is predictable. Again, guys, it's basic vanilla offense that they're running, and it's not working. Again, we have to stop thinking that it's these certain things when it's really the fact of the matter that it's definitely the fact that they're running a vanilla offense. It's very basic, and that's the issue. Okay? That is the issue. And they're running the same play calling, and it's predictable. It's a lifeless, non-effective, no creativeness offense. I broke down the game film yesterday. The offense they're running is absolutely atrocious. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's a bad idea. I mean, they definitely could have a meeting. I just don't know if we'll never know if if that ever happened. But Nick Saban did come out and say that with Bryce Young that they had to change up their offense and basically develop a scheme around Bryce when they did a Heisman, when he won the Heisman and when he went to the national championship. I would. I mean, I would. I have to kind of agree here, Chris, because he actually has worked with Bryce, right? That makes more sense for sure. Absolutely does. We were talking about it yesterday on the Black Hat Panther podcast. The same topic. You know, somebody's here. They need to up the playbook because shit's not right. They need to more like Miami playbook. I know we don't have the wide receivers for that, but still, would be a start for sure. For sure. I mean, I think that the playing style that they're running there in Miami it would fit Bryce better because it's just quick, short passes. It's getting the ball out quick, but you would need guys like a Marquise Brown, Jameson Williams. People, they want guys like T. Higgins, but that kind of playbook doesn't fit those wide receivers. So you have to get the right wide receivers that fits. Thielen would be fine in that. Mingo would probably be okay in that. But then you got to get other guys like a Marquise Brown, Jared Judy. You need quick route runners in that kind of style playbook. But it would fit Bryce to his strengths about getting the ball out quick, and it would make it so much competent for your offensive line to block. So that's what you call quick game. Actually, I've talked about that before, what quick game is. It's just quick slants, quick screens, quick hitch routes. It gets the ball down the field. You get the ball out quick. It's really one step or two step drops. You're throwing fade routes. It's easy to block. It gets completions. It kind of keeps the players moving. And you're moving the ball towards the end zone, and it's just easy. Panthers need running back help help them passing game. Najee Harris, anyone? I'd be open to it, but I doubt that's going to happen. What up? I know I'm late. Do you think they would ever actually fire anyone after Sunday? If this team gets blown out, like I'm talking about, like how the New York Giants got blown out on Sunday, yeah. If someone doesn't get fired and we get blown out like 48-7 or something, and someone gets fired, yeah, I'll be surprised. I'll be surprised. All right, let's do a mock draft. Y'all want to do mock draft? Let's do it. Screw it. I'm going to go off the rip. Mock draft 2024 simulator. Oh, PFF has one. Perfect. Great. All right. 5 rounds. We're going to do Panthers Let me make sure I'm signed. Oh, I'm signed in already. Okay, good. All right. Care for positional value, yes. Draft for needs, yes. Randomness, less. All right. All right, we're good. All right, let me share my screen. I think Tepper will not touch anyone until the season's over. He has been getting a bad rap for firing people. Yeah, I know. But I mean, I can see it too. That too, AJ. I could be seeing that too. All right, we're gonna do a mock draft. Wide receiver got to be Troy Franklin if it's there. I know what we need for the draft. Wide receiver. Everybody's going wide receiver, huh? Okay. I mean, I'm not picking for them. All right, ready? Here we go. Y'all wanted to go slow or fast? Guys, you want to slow? Like, you want to see where they pick? What this draft simulator picks? Do you want to see what these teams pick? Or do you want it to go fast to get to our pick? What do y'all think? We'll go slow. Who cares? Okay, they went with Caleb Williams, Drake May, New York, Marvin Harrison to, oh my gosh, Fashanu, nice. Latu, makes sense. Edge rusher, Joe Alt, okay, tackle, nice. Bo Nix, interesting. Okay, Malik Neighbors, nice. Chop Robinson, nice. Makes sense. Some of these do make sense so far. Michael Penix, interesting. Okay. Rome Odunes, yep, nice. Jared Verse, he gets compared to Funga. Cool. Kool-Aid McKinstry, Keenan Coleman to the Bills. That would be nuts. Nate Wiggins, Dallas Turner. Okay. JJ McCarthy to the Cardinals. Interesting. Leonard Taylor to the Vikings. JC Latham. Okay. Tackle makes sense. Graham Barton to the tackle makes sense. They went edge. Braylon Trice. They went wide receiver there. Dolphins. I don't know about that. Aiden Mitchell. Okay. Kellen King. Xavier Legette. Dude, if Xavier Legette goes to the Chiefs, I would shit my pants. Wait a minute. Oh, I didn't get the pick. Hold on. What did I do wrong? Oh, man. So, yeah, but I want to pick rounds 1, 2, 3. Round 1. How many rounds? 5 rounds. Let me try this again. Panthers. Enter draft. Settings. 5 rounds. 5 rounds. Enter draft. Okay, start draft. All right, is it going to let me go? Basically the same thing. It's predicting the same thing. Okay, we're on the clock. Great. Awesome. All right, so here we go. So we got some trades. Okay. Base off. Well, Xavier Legette's not there. Draft a player. All right, let's look at the wide receivers that are available. So we could go Johnny Wilson, Xavier Worthy, who I'm high on too. Slow, please. Slow. Okay, well, I went through the first round fast. So is that okay? I went through the first round fast. I'll put it back on slow now. All right, so we're on the clock. And wide receivers wise, we've got Xavier Worthy, who I'm high on. I'm also high on Laddie McConkey. Malachi Corley is another guy I'm high on. Troy Franklin's right there. I kind of feel like with him being there, we could get him later. The needs say tight end, edge rusher from Football Focus. So chat, worthy in your opinion, Jermaine Burton for me. Let's see what for me, I think we need to go inside too, like offensive line. Like, I kind of wouldn't be upset with Jackson Powers. Like, this dude is going to be a freaking stud. This dude's going to be a stud for a center. Look at that pass blocking grade. Zone grade. True pass set blocking grade. Look at that run blocking. I like him. See, I'm a trenches guy, man. I like to build the trenches. Any good left guards? Let's see. Hold on. Let me get back up here and get the wide receiver taken off. So let's go OT. So we got some tackles here. We got some tackles. We got Troy Fatanu, who I've heard of. Great pass blocker. I think he plays left tackle, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he does. He'd be a left tackle. I don't think you could probably. Here's the thing. You could get him. You move Icky to the inside. You put him at left tackle and try him out. I mean, that's something you could do. Right? I mean, AJ Brooks, we are in complete rebuild mode now, right? Tight ends. I don't know, man. What? I don't really know. Let's see what tight ends are available. You got Javion Sanders. Yards per route run. He's all right. He ain't nothing special. I'm always high on some Iowa tight ends, though. Luke Lachey. He looked decent. Tight ends, I would say no. All right, what y'all thinking? All right, chat, sound off. We're going to go wide receiver, offensive tackle, or guard, or the center that I had. So type in center, type in left guard, or left tackle, or wide receiver. Oh, Luke snapped his ankle off? Oh, shit. Never mind then. All right, chat saying center. Chris goes center. AJ goes wide receiver here. Let's go with the center. Okay. Anybody else? Center's up 2-1. Let me know, chat. Let me know. We got the mock draft going here. You know what? I need to edit this video now that I'm doing this. I'm going to edit the title so people know we're doing drafts. Have you looked at QBs? Come on, Joseph. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me, Smalls. Dude, all the quarterbacks are gone, honestly. Penix, Bo Nix, and Caleb Williams, May. They're all gone. Okay, we got tackle. So far, center is the winner right now, the guy that I want to get. So he's high, though. I mean, dude, this guy's going to be a stud. He's going to be a stud. And he has some time at right guard, too. All right, we're going with the center. We'll see how it grades out. And we'll do, if we have time, we'll do another one. I promise. Yeah, exactly. Build that foundation. Sorry, I know my computer's lagging a little bit, guys. All right, where are we at right now? Lots of guys are going off the board. I don't know what quarterbacks are left, guys. I mean, we can look. Yeah, there ain't nothing. We can get Spencer Rattler, my boy. Jordan Travis. You can go after KJ Jefferson, Sam Hartman, Tyler Van Dyke. These are the guys that are left at quarterback if y'all want to bring one in. All right. So we went tackle. So we went center there. Now we've got this third round pick. Now this is where I'm gonna go and look what we got. So we got Brendan Rice, Jerry Rice boy, who's not bad. He's only had 2 drops this year. Yards after the catch, at plus reception 4.9, 9 missed tackles, 7 deep catches, slot yards 95, screen yards, deep pass. He's all right. He's all right. So sound off in the comments what you want to go after. Do we go back to the trenches again? Do we try to get another? Do we continue to build within the trenches? Do we go defensive line? Do we go inside? Do we go defensive line? Jermaine Burton or Rice for me. I don't even know if there's. I don't even know if Jermaine Burton's there. Honestly. Oh, dude. Oh, I thought he was better than what he was, at least from a standpoint. What about Brian Murphy? Oh, Brian Murphy's nasty. I forgot about this kid. For a defensive lineman, look at that pass rush. That run defense, it's a 75.8, but still. 10 games played, defensive snaps. He's got 4 sacks, 4 quarterback hits, 22 hurries. Snaps aligned to A gap, B gap, over tackle, outside tackle. Dude. Wyoming, he was bad, but in the other games, he was pretty freaking good. His overall grade, jeez. He's 6'1", 308. Most drafted by. Dude, that guy's a stud. I say if there's not a game-breaking wide receiver, look at left guard. I'm high on Trayvon Sweat. Let's see. Where's he at? Oh, there he is. He's good too. Oh shit, he's even better. Damn. His grading's better. 2 sacks, 3 hits, 17 hurries, 4 batted balls. He lines up mainly in the B gap, but he goes in the A gap sums, over tackle outside. Okay. How big is he? Damn, 6'4", 260. That's a big boy. That's a big boy. That's a big boy. All right. So I mean, for me, I was either going to go defensive lineman here or wide receiver, honestly. And honestly, Troy Franklin's still down there, so I'm going to wait. I'm going to take another look. I'm going to take another gander at the offensive line and see what's there. So we got Tyler Guyton. He's all right. Honestly, I'd rather go for a guard in this situation. Christian Haynes. Now, Christian Haynes would be solid. He plays right guard, though. Do I really need him with Corbett there? He would be nice. I mean, Corbett's there, but do you think if we bring in, like, if we brought in a guy like Haynes, like I was just looking at, he's a right guard. All right, Christian Mahogan, he's a right guard, right tackle. He's got some decent statistics. Zach's a center. Okay. I think I'm gonna take this guy at defensive tackle. And I'm gonna then in the next round, I'm gonna go with a wide receiver. Because I have a feeling we might be okay. Let's see if anybody takes. Jonathan Brooks is off the board. DJ James from Auburn. Blake Corum. Devon Edwards. Tyler Guyton. Colleen Carson. Riley Leonard went to the Falcons. Are they just going to draft these like third round quarterbacks? Michael Pratt to the Jets. Jack Sawyer. Marshawn Lloyd. Rod Moore. Kingsley Suamatia. Rook Hor. McKinley Jackson. Christian Haynes. Jameer Tree. Byron Murphy. Okay. Kieran Agmaje. Javon Bullard. There goes Brendan Rice. Might want to take Sweat just in case we don't pay Burns and have pass rush. Yeah, that's why I went with him. I was also thinking in my head there. So far, we still got a decent wide receiver still on the board. I don't see that our guy's gone yet. One of the guys I wanted to get. Okay, he's not there. All right, perfect. Perfect. Okay. Come on, don't take him. Don't take him. Don't take him. Okay, perfect. All right, so now let's go wide receiver. Oh, who took him? He wasn't. Yo. Who took my boy? Damn. Look at the Texans scheming on me. Damn. Okay. Trey Harris is another good option. Damn. He's having a freaking season. Look at this boy, man. 40 receptions, targeted 63 times, 761 yards. Yards per receptions at 19. So Trey Harris wouldn't be bad. Jalen McMillan, he's average. I would still go Trey Harris over him. Roman Wilson, 16 yards after catch, 10 touchdowns, 589 yards, 36 receptions, 48 targets. I would either go with Trey Harris or I go Roman Wilson. No, Troy Franklin's gone, man. They took him. I thought that he would fall. Malachi Moore? Nah. Malachi Moore, no. It's not there. I'm trying to think if there's okay. If we're going wide receiver here, guys, it's between Trey Harris and Roman Wilson. Anyone want Chris Boswell? Running back Braylon Allen. Y'all want to go running back here? Jermaine Burton on the board. If not, Chris Boswell. Jermaine Burton. Did I spell that wrong? No. Okay. Tight ends. Let's look at tight ends. He's having a good year. Overall, he has a 90. He's okay. AJ Barner. Theo Johnson. He's all right. Jaheim Bell. 34 receptions, 46 targets, 406 yards, 2 touchdowns. Trey Knox is a big dude, man. He's freaking 6'5", 237. It's insane. So there's really not any tight ends. So running backs, Braylon Allen. 9 games. He's got 133 attempts, 755 yards. Yards per carries around 5.7. 8 touchdowns, 25 receptions. Targeted 27 times, 104 receiving yards. No. Pick Bell. That's a steal. Who's Bell? I didn't see him. Jaheim Bell. At 146, I don't know. I'm going to, guys, I think I got to go wide receiver here. And I'm thinking I'm going to take Trey Harris. 6'2", 205. He averages 19 yards per catch. I think I got to go Trey Harris. And we'll see how it pans out at the end. It's going to give me a grading of the draft, my draft. And then we'll do another one. We'll do another one. All right, let's speed this up a little bit. I want to get to our picks. All right, we're in the 5th round now. So we've got center, defensive lineman, and wide receiver. All right, so we've got center, defensive lineman, wide receiver. That's what we've picked so far. Next round, we go running back. Maybe. Let's see who's available. You got Will Shipley, Chase McClellan. He's not bad. What's his size, though? 5'11", 222. Not a big Shipley fan. Not because he goes to Clemson. I just don't think he's that good. Raheem Sanders. Mayan Williams. Montreal Johnson. He's not bad. If I had to pick, I'm going with the Bama boy. But he's ranked 155. We need a bruiser. Well, if we need a bruiser, let's see. 5'11", 222. Zone grade, 7.75. Elusive rate, 83.7. Yards after contact, 3.13. Gap grade, 7.9. Rush grade, 81. Yards after contact total. Yards for a route run. Missed tackles forced. He's got over 673 rushing yards, 4.6 yards per game, 5 touchdowns, 11 receptions, 14 targets, 120. Let me see you. About the same size. It's definitely the Bama boy. It's definitely the Bama boy. The Bama boy's better. He's small. I'm pretty sure Raheem Sanders. Oh, Raheem Sanders 6'2", 242. Good God. But he sucks. Or maybe they just suck there. Built like a linebacker. I feel you. So I guess I wouldn't say we go running back here then. Let me look at corner. Coverage grade. Build that corner up. See if there's any linebackers available too. Andrew Mukabua. He's all right. And then Kamal Hayden. He's terrible against the run, but he's pretty damn good against the pass. But he's played only 7 games. And how many games are there in the season left? There's only like 2 games left. So he's missed some games. He's done pretty well. He sucked against UTSA. He did pretty good everywhere else. Jason Marshall. I'm just looking at these guys. What's the completion rating on him? 36.4. That's not bad. Sanders, we need another Tolbert. Need to get another Coastal boy in there, huh? I think I'm going to go with let me look at the linebacker room. He aight. Jalen Ford. He's all right. Ben Bywater, he's okay. Tyron Hopper. He's all right. Trevin Wallace. He's all right. All right, let's go back to the corners. I think I'm going to go corner here. I'm going to take I'm going to take where's he at? I'm going to take Kamal Hayden. Yep, I'm taking Kamal on that one. All right, we'll do another one. I'll speed this up. We are in the last round anyways. So we'll have time to do another. Perfect. Okay. This is saying I need to go inside offensive line. Fuck it. We'll just go with the running back. That way we can get on to the next one. Y'all guys are going to get – I'm going to let y'all pick the next one. I'm going to let y'all guys pick the next one. Let's see how I did. What was my grade? Oh, God. Well, okay, I guess y'all don't want me drafting the Panthers then because – I mean, really, I was just testing the waters, but it worked out with the Trey Harris pick and it worked out with the Chase McKellen pick, but the other first 2 picks, not too good. All right, let's do it again. All right, this time we'll go slow. 5 rounds. Well, should we set the randomness to like more or the randomness like in the middle? What do y'all think? Because the randomness means that when the computer picks, it could be a random pick. Should I do less, more, keep it in the middle for randomness? Mid-random, okay. Draft needs. Should we put that at less or more? Or should we put it there, kind of put everything in the middle? Should we keep everything in the middle? Or should we put draft needs more, care for positional value more? Should we do that? How should we set the settings in this draft? And then we'll get more serious on this one. We'll get more serious on this one. What y'all think, chat? Keep the settings like that. I mean, we could go, like I said, we can take this and put care for positional value more or less or in the middle. Draft needs more or less or in the middle. Randomness, we've already said that's middle. So what do y'all think? Should we go more? Should we set it like that? More, less, or in the middle, guys, for these three things. Like that. I'm trying to make the draft as realistic as possible so that when we really do this, it could be something that actually might, what's the best settings for this? So, Chris, more on the two top things on draft needs and position value. Oh, okay. You're cool with middle too. All right, we'll keep it middle. We'll just keep everything middle. It's like they are about value, they are about needs, but they also could be something else, right? Let's see how this goes though. All right, we'll go slow. So the Bears are on the clock. Oh, wait. Let me go to settings again. Make sure I got it on 5. We're going to go speed, slow. Everything's in the middle. Got my team. All right, we're going to enter, and let's get started. All right, the Bears on the clock. They take Caleb. Giants are on the clock. They take Marvin Harrison Jr. Drake May to the Patriots. Latu. I don't know how to pronounce his name. To the Cardinals. I can't pronounce his name. I know who he is. I know who he is. I know all these players, who they are. Jared Verse to LA. Makes sense. Nate Wiggins to Tennessee. Makes sense. Malik Napers to Kool-Aid McKinstry to Washington. Joe Alt to Bucks. Chop Robinson to the Jets. Dallas Turner to the Broncos. Brock Bowers to the Chargers. Rum Adunsi to Colts. Keenan Allen to the Raiders. Thalys Fuga to Bills. Cooper DeJean. Michael Penix Jr. to the Cardinals. Cameron Kitchens to the Vikings. J.C. Latham to Dallas. Kamir Lazarter to Steelers. Leonard Taylor to the Dolphins. Graham Barton to Seahawks. Johnny Wilson to Jags. Bo Nix to San Francisco. This kind of starting to seem a little suspicious. Like, I'm not too sure. Like with some of these. I see that. I could see this. I could see this. Edge rusher there makes sense. A tackle here makes sense. A defensive lineman there makes sense. Javon Curse there. Jared Verse to LA makes sense. Nate Wiggins to Titans makes sense. Atlanta getting a wide receiver at 9 makes sense. I mean, kind of. I mean, really, I would think they try to build the defensive line or the defensive line back up because of older players. Corner room in Washington makes sense. Yep. Joe Alt tackle makes sense there at the Buccaneers to continue to have a great offensive line. Chop Robinson to put alongside Sauce makes sense. An edge rusher back over there and the Broncos makes sense. A tight end makes sense over there for the Chargers. Add weapons to your quarterback. Rome Odunze to Washington. From Washington. That makes sense for the Colts, sure. That can continue to add pieces around Anthony. Keon Coleman to the Raiders could make sense because maybe Devontae Adams might not be there. Adding to that offensive line, the Bills, sure. Adding to the Bengals corner room makes sense. Michael Penix Jr. to Cardinals, I'm not too sure about. That's the one that doesn't really make sense to me. Let's see. But Bo Nix to San Francisco, you think they're going to do that in San Francisco and get Bo Nix? I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me. Okay. For me, again, guys, I am building within the trenches in that second round pick. Okay. There is a trade offer here, which we could do, but I doubt that's going to happen. I'm going to go ahead. Let's see. We got Mims. And I'm going to go for an inside guy again. Except I'm not going with that center. Well, now I'm kind of debating that. Because there's really not any. We do have Troy, who looks pretty good. Mims looks pretty good. He's all right. Troy's okay. He's a great pass blocker. But then again, we really need this. We really need wide receivers. Oh, man. I want Xavier Legette so bad. Dude, Xavier Legette, 6'3", 227. And he runs like a 4.39. It's insane. Dude, man's got 10 games played, right? He has 59 receptions, targeted 78 times, 1,093 yards, 18 yards per catch, 5 touchdowns. This dude is insane. I'm a Xavier Legette fan. See, that's what I'm saying. That Bo Nix pick didn't make sense. So I'm going to actually go. For me, guys, we're going to go wide receiver here. Okay? At this pick. I think it makes sense. I think keeping him in Carolina makes sense. JJ McCarthy was there. Didn't know that, but that's okay. Bring in some competition there. Adrian Cooper went off the board. Marius Mims. Okay, he's off. Patrick Paul. He's off the board. Shador Sanders to the Falcons. They took wide receiver, and then they took him in the second round. Xavier Worthy's off the board. Jordan Morgan's off the board. Kalen King's off the board. Josh Newton is off the board. Troy Futanu is off the board. Jalen Polk's off the board. TJ Tampa's off the board. Some good guys going right now. Denzel Burke's off the board. Ladd McConkey is off the board. Tavion Sanders off the board. Chris Braswell is off the board. Brandon Dorless is off the board. Antoine Wells is off the board. Jackson Powers Johnson's off the board. Chris Jenkins is off the board. Luke Lachey's off the board. Devin Edwards is off the board. Malachi Corley's off the board. He's a stud. Mekhi Hiwongo is off the board. Mason Smith is off the board. Brian Thomas Jr. is off the board. And Trey Benson is off the board. Quarterbacks left. If you want to bring in some QBs, you got Jalen Daniels, Quinn Ewers. Still got these guys down here. If you wanted to bring in a quarterback to bring some competition into Bryce, that's something y'all wanted to do. Does make a ton of sense, doesn't it? Doesn't that make a lot of sense in that draft? All right. So we went wide receiver. Troy Franklin's still there. Trey Harris is still there too. So let's go with, if we're going based off needs, right? But none of these guys are great for this pick. So tight ends out of the question. Okay. Running backs. We got Jonathan Brooks. Do we try to go offense, right? I'm a big, listen, I want this guy. Do we go running back here? But then, again, the reason why I got a bad grading on that last pick was because he was like 55. This guy's a great guard. The problem is he is a right guard. If he's good at right guard, do you think you could switch him over? Another decent right guard. So their rankings aren't very good. Tackles. See what we got at tackles. We got Guyton at 76. We got the 65th pick. So we go with all. It really kind of, if we're getting right here to the nitty and gritty. So let's look at the linebacker core now. Or the inside, or the defensive line. All right, we got some guys here. Might be able to wait to the next round to get Sweat, right? So why not look at the edge rushers? What do we got? Jack Sawyer, maybe. But then what do we got at the linebacker core? Could get Barrett Carter. He's okay, though. Trotter would make sense to me. Pass rush grade, run defensive grade, coverage grade. I mean, he's the guy if we're going to pick here. I kind of want to go with him. But then again, I kind of want to go with Jonathan Brooks. I'm going to go with Brooks. Oh. We'll do more. We'll do more of these mock drafts, guys. This is pretty fun. I haven't done these in a while. Scooty-goo. Let's see if any other wide receivers go off the board. Well, guys, I'm not picking 2 wide receivers. All right. I see y'all saying go Troy Franklin. Double up. I'm not doing that. This is where I'm going to go on the interior defensive line or offensive line. If it's there, if he's there, if Sweat's there, I'm getting him. Jermaine Trott went off the board. That was the linebacker I wanted if I was going to pick anybody. What does that mean right there? The Miami forfeited that thing. What does that mean, chat? Troy Franklin, it's off the board, so don't have to worry about that. Oh, dude, freaking. Oh, you turds. All right, so what do we got left here? If we're going to go, I kind of want to see what corners we got left. Not really anything. Chris Abrams is he's a stud, actually. I've seen him play. We're in the 4th round. We ain't got we got a wide receiver, we got a running back, tackles. What are we looking at here? tackles. What are we looking at, chat? What are we looking at? We got Blake Fisher. Average. Marquise Cox. Okay, nothing. What about inside? Okay, we got some hits. Might have some hits here. Ooh. Run blocking, pass blocking. What does he play? Right guard. Damn. How are you looking? Okay. He plays center. Not bad. Good run block, good pass block, gap. Okay, he's a little bit average there, but zone grade's pretty good. True pass set blocking, he's above average. So that's pretty damn good. What's his size? 6'4", 210, 310. Yeah, let's go with the let's build that offensive line. Let's get a center. So now we've put 2 weapons around Bryce, and then we give him a new center. See what else we get going on here, chat. Exactly, Chris. Exactly. With the way we're drafting this, exactly. So now we've got a piece of the offensive line. Now in this 5th round, it's like, all right, can I get another? What I want to do is I want to try to see if I can get another. I wish I could get a left guard, but the left guard position is very slim in this draft. I wanted to get a left guard position, but it's very slim in this draft. But I think we got a very solid steal there with that center. This makes too much sense. Temper senses are tingling. I mean, you get a wide receiver. We've got the tie. We get him a wide receiver weapon, and Xavier will get a big body, fast wide receiver. You get him a Jonathan Brooks. All right, someone who's going to, help in the run game. You add that in there. Then you get him a center, protection. The foundation of the offensive line, it starts from the center. Now we've got 2 picks in the 5th round. I kind of want to go guard here. What do you play? Oh, I think I might have found a steal at left guard. Cooper Beebe. Run blocking 79, pass blocking 90, zone grade 78.3, gap grade 74.4, true pass set blocking grade 87.7. Has some left tackle experience, has some right tackle experience, but mainly plays left guard. Yo. I like this pick here. I like this pick here. Now we've got our another left guard. We're building that trenches up, man. Now I'm going to go inside. Oh, wait, that was our 4th pick. That's fine. Now I'm going to try to go edge and corner to finish up if I can. I know it's 5th round picks, but sometimes they hit. We'll see how it pans out. I mean, I think we honestly, that center and that left guard I just got were definitely steals. We're definitely steals. I mean, we're building up that offensive line. Listen, the defense, I feel like we can bolster up in free agent. I'm not too pressed about the defense doing these because I'm thinking about it from the standpoint of this defense. That we have a good defense. We got a good enough defense to compete. Now I got to go edge rusher. He's not bad. He might be the best guy we got on the board, honestly. Don't we have another pick here in the 5th? I thought we had one. Oh, I already went with him? Oh, I thought that was my 4th pick. So who was my 4th round pick? That's right. The center was my 4th round. Okay. So do I go edge or do I go corner? What are we looking at the corner from position? Ugh, not bad. Run defense, okay. Coverage, grade. He's all right. Edge, you got him. Shit. It says a 73, but then you got his comparables. Three sacks, 15. Where are we at in the draft? 165. Steve Linton. These guys are all about the same. Darius Robinson. Oh, we're going with this guy. Are you kidding me? Give me Darius Robinson. Call it a day. All right, let's see what my grade is. Let's see if I did better this time. Okay. Oh, man. They gave me a B+. Xavier Legette, Jonathan Brooks. You get your center. You get a left guard. You get an edge rusher to help out. Not bad. Not bad. Those two guys right here, that Cedric Van Pran and Cooper Beebe was a steal. I might have to look into these guys a little bit more. And I know Darius Robinson a little bit. I need to look into him more. I know these guys very well. But all right, guys. Well, that's a mock draft. We'll do some more of these. So again, I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Make sure you pound that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure you click that post notifications bell so you don't miss out on any new content. And yeah, guys, I appreciate everyone joining today. We'll be live again tomorrow. I'll be live again tomorrow. We'll be doing kind of breaking down some of the Cowboys game. Leading up to the Cowboys game, we'll be breaking some of that down, some news, some updates. Maybe we'll do another mock draft. And then we will, of course, Fridays will basically be a preview and prediction. We'll probably do the weekly picks tomorrow as well, the NFL weekly picks tomorrow as well. But Friday will be a preview prediction leading up to the Cowboys game. So make sure y'all tune in. Make sure you pound that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and click that post notifications bell so you don't miss out on any new content. Yeah, these 4 things on the side here, that's the best thing you can do. Feel free to check out the links. Go down to the link tree, check it out. And other than that, guys, y'all know what to do. Keep pounding. Peace.